I want to address two passages in their context to see what they actually say and what they do not say. The first one is "Judge not, lest you be judged," which ironically condemns those who misuse this text. Let's look at Matthew chapter 7 verses 1 to 6. Quote, "Judge not, or you too will be judged, for in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Do not give to dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and tear you to pieces." Unquote. A careful reading of the context suggests that we are to judge, but not in a hypocritical manner. When you're about to condemn someone for lying, for example, make sure that you are not doing the same thing. Then you can point out what the person is doing is wrong. Clean up your mess. Then you can tell someone else to do the same with regards to the same issue. Now, with respect to the other verse, the phrase "touch not God's anointed" is often abused quite regularly as well, and the historical context is neglected. Let's read the passage in its context. This is in 1 Samuel 24 verses 5 to 13. Quote, "Afterward David was conscience-stricken for having cut off a corner of his robe. He said to his men, 'The Lord forbid that I should do such a thing to my master, the Lord's anointed, or lay my hand on him, for he is the anointed of the Lord.' With these words, David sharply rebuked his men and did not allow them to attack Saul. And Saul left the cave and went on his way. Then David went out of the cave and called to Saul, 'My lord the king.' Then Saul looked behind him. David bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. He said to Saul, 'Why do you listen when men say David is bent on harming you? This day you have seen with your own eyes how the Lord delivered you into my hands in the cave. Some urged me to kill you, but I spared you. I said, I will not lay my hand on my Lord, because he is the Lord's anointed. See, my father, look at this piece of your robe in my hand. I cut off a corner of your robe, but I did not kill you. See that there is nothing in my hand to indicate that I am guilty of wrongdoing or rebellion. I have not wronged you, but you are hunting me down to take my life. May the Lord judge between you and me, and may the Lord avenge the wrongs you have done to me. But my hand will not touch you. As the old saying goes, from evildoers comes evil deeds, so my hand will not touch you." Unquote. In context, David was not allowed to attack Saul because he was still in possession of the throne at the time, and it was not David's right to remove Saul from power. Saul was still the anointed king of Israel, and it wasn't time for David to take the throne at this point. In fact, David even killed a man who brought news of Saul's demise. However, this text doesn't say, even implicitly, that you cannot expose a false prophet and remove him from ministry. People may have successful ministries and perform supposed signs and wonders, many of them, but that doesn't exonerate them from being judged according to Scripture. We must make righteous judgments, as found in Titus 2:15 and Titus 2:3-5 and many other passages, including those in the letters to Timothy. They must be called out as false prophets if they are teaching abhorrent doctrinal error, are known to make false prophecies, and have been involved in false prophetic ministry, and must be silenced for teaching and doing things that they ought not to do. Touch not God's anointed was a one-time event within the context of the Bible. It is not a universal principle to all people. I hope and pray that you study these texts carefully, and to make sure that you do not distort them out of context. Check my words with Scripture, and the truth shall set you free. God bless and take care.